It's always important to have go-to recipes and meals that you can just quickly and easily whip up without having to think too much about it, not use too much mental energy. So today we are finding 3 new recipes we can add into our weekly recipe repertoire. Say that 3 times, weekly recipe repertoire, weekly recipe repertoire. I can't. Because sometimes I find myself being tired after work and then all I would do is just eat a plate of broccoli. And that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta eat a whole bunch of broccoli. But it's nice to have a couple things in the belt that you can just bam, 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 bam. I'm making this, I'm making that. We're going here. We got this. Protein. We need it. We're trying to build muscles. Let's go. Alrighty, so here we are for our first recipe, and we are trying out anabolic French toast. And this is basically just French toast made with a ton of egg whites, sugar-free syrup, and cinnamon. It's supposed to be a really good high-volume recipe with really good amount of protein in it and for very little calories. Now, I absolutely love French toast, adore it, but I do always feel a little bit sluggish and blah after it. Of course, regular French toast can fit into your day, no problem, but sometimes you're on that calorie crunch and you still desire that sweet, sweet eggy goodness. So here we are, trying out anabolic French toast. Let's see how it turns out. All right, y'all, here we are for our French toast taste test. Our anabolic French toast, because we're a gym bro now, apparently. So usually people will use like a lower calorie bread, like 45 calories per slices type of deal. I just went with basic ass white Sara Lee artisano bread, and it's 110 calories per slice, 3 grams of protein per, and I halved the initial recipe of the French toast thing, so I only have 200 grams of egg whites in there and then 3 slices of bread. But altogether, this is not even 400 calories. 32 grams of protein. Hello? I love French toast, by the way. It was really hard for me to avoid putting butter on this, which I could have because of how low in calories it is in general. Sometimes you just need some butter. Sometimes you need the butter in your meal. I'm never gonna fault you for that. Butter is delicious. Let's taste our French toast. It's like a delicious souffle. It really is. It's honestly almost a little too sweet for me. I think I would hold back on some of the syrup in the like egg white mixture. The cinnamon though, if you were trying to be like really indulgent, some berries and some of the like really low calorie Cool Whip I think would be super good. Sometimes it's hard to find a way to fit a sweet meal into your day when you're really tracking your calories because the sugar, the fat, all that good stuff is really gonna up and add calories. And sometimes you can cut them and it's okay. Sometimes it's hard to find like that substitute that's really gonna scratch that itch. This is pretty dang good. It's like eating air. It's like eating a souffle. It's like French toast souffle. It's so light. It's still really good. And you guys know I wouldn't lie to you about something. If this was bad, I'd be telling you that it is bad. This is good. Like, I will make this again for sure. Next time I'm like, I really want to have a sweet treat for breakfast. When's the last time that I could just eat 3 pieces of bread as French toast and just not die after? And I was skeptical at first. I thought the bread wasn't really gonna absorb all of the liquid, and so when I put them in the pan, I just sort of scraped out what was left and poured it on top of each piece of bread, and that seemed to work really well. It soaked it up, no problem. And now we have this delicious, basically French toast souffle type thing. It was really good. No, it's not exactly the same as regular French toast. You do kind of miss a little bit of that rich egg yolky goodness and like a real maple syrup. I miss those for sure. This is super duper scratching that itch for a really good French toast with way less calories, so it can fit so easily into my day. Honestly, I think I kind of like the bits better that haven't been touched by the syrup. Maybe next time I would hold back the syrup, but we had to pour the syrup on there for that shot. That looked pretty good, didn't it? It's sweet enough without adding extra syrup. That didn't even need it. And it's really moist because of how fluffy and egg whitey it is. Quick little side note before we move on to our next meal that we're gonna be trying out. If you feel like you need a little extra protein hit in your day, and sometimes you're struggling, you're like, I need a sweet treat. I don't know what's going on in my life. I need to get some protein. Give Clear Proteins a try. I've only used the My Protein brand Clear Proteins, but I've had the Caribbean Punch, I've had the sour watermelon, sour cherry. This is sour cherry, right? Yeah, this one's sour cherry and a passion fruit one, and they're all really good. They're only 20 grams of protein per serving. You just mix it with some water, and you're getting hydrated. You're getting your protein. It's a sweet little delicious treat. And they're 0 carbs, 0 sugar, super refreshing, cold with ice. I usually will bring a scoop to work. So I can just mix it into my water and I'm just sipping on it throughout the day. Boom, a little extra 20 grams of protein, never gonna hurt anyone, and it's delicious. Welcome back to the kitchen. Mind if a white girl speaks a little Espanol tonight? We're making higher protein enchiladas, which is great. Don't come for me. I honestly have never made authentic enchiladas, so as far as I understand, we're just doing some basic swaps. We're mixing together some refried beans, some Greek yogurt, some taco seasoning, chicken, cheese, rolling that up in some high fiber, low carb tortillas, covering it in enchilada sauce, cheese, and baking it. Bam, ton of fiber, ton of protein. And I'm really looking forward to it. I was pretty darn skeptical at first because the idea of mixing Greek yogurt and refried beans doesn't seem appealing. However, once you do mix it together, kind of like a delicious savory bean yogurt, and honestly, something I might make for a snack in the future. It was pretty tasty in a weird way. And here's the mixture with everything in it. So we've got this beautiful little, so good. And you can just cheat. You can just buy pre-cooked shredded chicken, which is what I did. Because I was on the way home from a good gym workout, might I say. Although, you know what, guys? I wore brown leggings to the gym today, and the ass sweat, right through them. Looked like I just shit my pants. It was a wet butt situation. I was sweaty, and now I've learned not to wear those leggings to the gym. Anyway, so here's our mixture. I've sprayed this beautiful little casserole dish with some nonstick spray. All we have to do now is load up the tortillas, throw them in the oven. And I'm really excited and really looking forward to this. I have a feeling that this one might be a little tastier than the Anabolic French toast we made earlier, which was still darn good. But I think this one's gonna seem more like a regular normal meal and not like bodybuilder food. Here's our tortillas we're gonna be using for this lovely meal. 70 calories each, 6 grams of protein, and 17 grams of fiber. And the beans, we're gonna be tooting up a storm. All right, we've got our little setup here. We got our pan, we got our wrappies, we got our goo. The recipe said to do about 80 grams of filling in each, so let's see what that looks like. I'm just sort of roughly filling them all first to make sure that I'm gonna have enough to like really go around and be delicious and perfect. Because what if we end up with one that's not enough? I'm gonna be very upset. All right, we got one left. What is the best way to be rolling these? With my hands? Like that? Yo, I don't think 8's gonna fit in here. Ooh, this is a beefy boy. Here's our beautiful pan of enchiladas. Now we just gotta make them even. Because I got a little scared they weren't gonna fit. But they fit. They fit quite nicely. There. Now we pour over some enchilada sauce, a little more cheese, and we bake it. The recipe said 10 ounces, and this is 15. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the recipe saying 10 ounces was right. Of course it was. Now we sprinkle the top with a little extra cheese. Make sure your cheese was, if it's pre-shredded, wasn't included in the recent recall where apparently heavy metals were found shredded into the cheese. Because that is no good. No bueno. This smells really good. I'm so excited to eat this. Oh my God. Bam, and there we go. Our 100 grams of cheese sprinkled deliciously on top. 8 little enchiladas rolled up in here in a nice little blanket of sauce. Let's pop these in the oven for bake 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese is melted and bubbly. Oh, I forgot the fresh cilantro. Next time. We'll get them next time. Did I do something wrong? The cheese didn't exactly melt. Alrighty, enchiladas are done. I feel like they don't look as good as in the blog post. Perhaps if I just shredded my own cheese, it would have melted nicer. Of course it would have. I'm serving it to myself alongside some light sour cream and a little bit of fresh salsa. Which is hella delicious. So according to the website, this yields 4 servings, which means 2 enchiladas, and her macros, if you follow the recipe exactly, it's about 479 calories, 38.2 grams of protein, 16.9 fat, and 43.6 carbs. But I did a couple little things, like I added some extra yogurt, extra beans, extra chicken, until that bumps my calories up to 550, the protein up to 45, and the fat and the carbs up a smidge. I forget how much. You can't go wrong. Like, hello? This is only 550 calories? Sign me up. Sign me up. Maybe you can see that. That's the insides we're working with. Honestly, that looks pretty freaking good. It's real steamy. It's real hot. There's a shivering dog on my leg. What would you like? What would you like? Should we burn our mouths just for the video? This absolutely is getting a 10 out of 10 from me. And it was so easy to make. especially because you can just buy pre-shredded chicken. You can buy enchilada sauce, you know, Greek yogurt. You can buy refried beans. I think this came together in like 20 minutes, threw it in the oven for about 20. Boom, dinner's done. Meal prep's done pretty much. This is so good. Oh my God, I'm adding this to my roster for sure. And also, I can't imagine it not being filling. I can't imagine feeling hungry after eating this, which is a bonus in my books. Cheers. That's the stuff. That's really good. Yeah, enchiladas, 10 out of 10. We'll be making again, on repeat, multiple times a week. And it's also something that you could easily just meal prep, like a whole bunch. You could make like 3 pans, keep it in the freezer. Okay, done. You eat enchiladas every day for like 2 weeks straight. See you for the next meal. We're back in the kitchen. We are doing our third and final quick and dirty protein meals that we're testing out, or something I've already loved. Now this one is something that I know I like, but I never really thought about how much protein is in this. And it's simply a tuna sandwich. A tuna melt, if you wish. Whatever you want. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but I like to do a whole ass can of tuna in one sandwich. And what is that, ladies and gentlemen? 31 grams of protein. In this particular tuna anyway, 31 grams of protein. Then we're going ahead, we're adding in 2 slices of bread. What's that? 6 more grams of protein. Then we're doing what? We're kind of making a slight tuna melt situation because I love me a little bit of Laughing Cow cheese. 2 grams each in these wedges. There's 4 more grams of protein. And I might be a little bit of a weirdo, but as I've aged, I've sort of grown out of a full mayo mixed tuna sandwich. So I'll do like a little bit. I'll do a little bit of mayo, a little bit of light mayo in there. However, I really haven't been enjoying the tang of, you guessed it, a Greek yogurt mixed in with like a chicken salad, a tuna salad, pasta salad, like any of that stuff. Mayo, like it has its place, you know? I like a little bit of it, but it just gets so heavy and I find the flavor so strong as I aged, and it's kind of like all I end up tasting, the things that I put it in. Whereas Greek yogurt kind of just fades away and leaves like a smidge of a tang, which is kind of nice. The tang might sound weird with tuna, but it really just blends in. You don't notice it. So there's gonna be extra protein in there, especially because I'm using the 20 gram protein Chobani Greek yogurt. Delicious. For fun, I'm also gonna be throwing in a little bit of Crybaby Craig's hot sauce, my favorite delicious Minnesota hot sauce. And I'm a basic bitch, some sweet relish. I love a sweet relish. I love a bread and butter pickle. This bread and butter pickle slander that's been going on the internet recently needs to stop. Because some of us like bread and butter pickles and some of us don't. Okay? And that's fine. Bread and butter pickles are good sometimes, all right? If you don't like them, that's fine. Let me enjoy them in peace, okay? I don't want to be shit on because I like a bread and butter pickle sometimes. Anyway, let's make our tuna sandwich here. With a traditional tuna melt, usually you're gonna be like buttering or putting mayo on your bread and you're doing like a melt, you know, on a frying pan. But because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna toast it. I'm gonna toast my bread. I'm gonna spread some Laughing Cow cheese on each slice, and then we're just gonna fill it with our tuna mixture. Easy. Less pans to dirty. Once again, we are just using a regular ass white bread. No high fiber here, no seeds, no nuts, no brown bread, because as a child, what did I like? A white bread tuna sandwich, so that's what we're doing. Basic ass, fluffy, soft white bread. You can of course make it with whatever bread you want, but I'm going with this because this is what I have and this is what was on sale. Why is this sweater dirty? I just took it out of the fucking cupboard. Jesus, Tara. I think I might have done Christmas baking in this and then threw it away for like a whole year. Jeez, please ignore. You know you got that premium shit with a pull tab. No can openers here, my friends. You know, I'm so sad that tuna has negative levels of mercury in it because I would eat tuna every day if I could. Hit it up with a little bit of mayo for that slight mayo flavor that I loved as a child. Follow that up with some Greek yogurt. That seems like enough to start with. We'll check it there. Bam! Oh God, that was a lot of relish. I guess we're rolling with it. Hot sauce. Just a smidge. A little pinch of salt. Stir that up. See what we're working with. It's my first time buying this particular yogurt and it is quite dry. Quick tuna taste test. It's perfect. The toast isn't quite toasty enough, so I had to throw it down for a second round of toasting. Grant always likes his really, really light, and I like mine actually toasted. I didn't realize he changed the settings. Get our little laughing cow cheese ready. These things are so good. I don't care what you say. The light laughing cow cheese slaps. These things are so good. And they're always so much bigger than I think they're going to be. And like sometimes I'm spreading it on my toast and I'm like, this is too much cheese. But is there really too much laughing cow cheese? Don't know. Toast, complete. If you wanted to be more traditional, you could easily just put some of the mayonnaise on the outsides of your bread to toast it. Do it that way so you have like a classic melt. But I'm not picky. I'm not picky. And like, look at this. Spready little delicious cheese. Heck yes. Oh God, I'm so excited to eat this. Laughing cow. Laughing at how delicious the cheese is. Look at that. Spreadable cheese, who knew? Let's go ahead and slap our tuna on here. You know, that is kind of a lot of tuna, so sometimes you just gotta like take a bite out of it to make it a little less on the bread. Look at that. Would it be maybe a little bit more efficient if you simply just made 2 little open-faced sandwiches? Yeah, that probably would be a lot better. I'll do that in the future. Let's go ahead and give this baby a cut. And bam, there we have it. Damn, that looks good. Here's our insanely delicious tuna sandwich with 45 grams of protein with these particular ingredients that I used. That looks real good. And you know that bread is not getting soggy because that laughing cow cheese has created a barrier. Yeah, maybe it's exploded a little bit. Don't care. Delicious. Cut cameras. So there we have it, friends. Some new recipes that I have found that are high protein and really delicious. Things that honestly make it feel a little weird to say, like, I'm on a diet. Technically, I am, but I mean, aren't we all, kind of? What you eat is just your diet. I'm watching my cows, and I'm having a good time doing it lately, finding a lot of really fun recipes to make, things that are fitting into my day pretty easily. I even had a slice of panettone at work today, and it's fitting in just fine. I'm having fun with my food, and I think that just makes it so much easier to stay on track, whatever on track is for you. And yeah, if you eat foods that you like, it's easy to do that. Whew, I'm gonna go absolutely devour the second half off camera, but you don't need to see that. And I will see you guys next week for whatever we get up to then. In the meantime, I hope you're having a great time, and I'll see you then.